In New Delhi, a significant chapter in India-Russia relations has just been reaffirmed. Russian President Vladimir Putin arrived in the Indian capital for the first visit since the Ukraine war began nearly 4 years ago and was received by Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself, a rare gesture reserved for only a handful of world leaders. Beyond symbolism, this summit has placed trade, energy, security and defense cooperation at the center of a renewed strategic roadmap as both nations look to navigate a turbulent global landscape and recalibrate a partnership rooted in trust, technology and geopolitics.
Russian President Vladimir Putin received a red carpet welcome in New Delhi, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi personally greeted him on the tarmac. A rare gesture underscoring a partnership that has weathered sanctions and shifting global currents. A warm embrace and shared drive set the tone for a visit focused on renewing strategic and economic ties. Putin's delegation, backed with senior ministers and top business leaders, signaled Moscow's push to widen cooperation far beyond defense and energy. Bilateral trade has soared from $13 billion in 2021 to nearly $69 billion this year, driven largely by discounted Russian crude. But with US tariffs squeezing India's export sectors, both nations are now looking to rebalance. Russia is keen to ramp up imports of Indian automobiles, electronics, textiles, food products and medical devices, while India seeks fresh market openings to offset losses in shrimp and engineering goods. A new economic cooperation program till 2030, along with several MOUs on food safety, healthcare research, maritime development and a major industrial venture with Uralchem, aims to diversify trade, boost investments and strengthen long-term strategic trust between the two nations.
आर्थिक सहयोग को नई ऊंचाइयों पर ले जाना हमारी साझी प्राथमिकता है। इसे साकार करने के लिए आज हमने 2030 तक के लिए एक इकोनॉमिक कोऑपरेशन प्रोग्राम पर सहमति बनाई है। इससे हमारा व्यापार और निवेश डाइवर्सिफाइड, बैलेंस और सस्टेनेबल बनेगा और सहयोग के क्षेत्रों में नए आयाम भी जुड़ेंगे।
Успешно развивается партнерство в энергетике. Россия является надежным поставщиком энергоресурсов и всего, что необходимо для развития энергетики Индии. Мы готовы и далее обеспечивать бесперебойную поставку топлива для быстрорастущей индийской экономики.
Experts believe that President Putin's visit to India remains significant because it reinforces a long-standing partnership at a time of global geopolitical shifts. The trip signals strong strategic trust, expanding economic cooperation beyond defense and oil, and a joint push to reach $100 billion trade by 2030. It also highlights India's independent foreign policy despite global pressure.
Not to see this as a bilateral summit in a normal context. It is abnormal and it is very important for both the countries. The importance lies on the geopolitical changes which is drastically taking place all over the world. So I think India and Russia are trying to reshape the new world order by setting up the right track of their bilateral relation, and India knows the depth of the strategic relation with Russia. That's why they feel that they are already dealing with a very trustful partner and a strategic partner as well.
Russia arrived in New Delhi with a powerful business delegation for the 23rd India-Russia Annual Summit, opening doors to fresh partnerships in industry, labor mobility and key strategic sectors. The two sides pledged to diversify trade, scale up investments and unlock new opportunities across manufacturing, agriculture, healthcare and maritime logistics. Above all, the summit underscored their enduring political alignment and shared approach to global governance.
Since advanced economies are not trading with Russia. There is huge opportunity, particularly for SMEs of the country. We need to look into some of the sectors where our major exports are not to Russia, particularly automobile and auto component, electrical and electronic segments, medical and diagnostic equipment, where the import size is quite big, but we have not looked into those potential.
Putin's New Delhi visit reaffirmed a resilient partnership, adapting to a changing world. With a fresh economic roadmap, expanding trade opportunities and renewed strategic trust, India and Russia signaled their intent to shape a more balanced global order, strengthening a relationship anchored in pragmatism, energy security, and a long-term geopolitical alignment.